What's up, gurus? In this one we're going to talk about some tips with these little planaria traps. They do work. They're not extremely effective. The only way to truly do that is to kill off the population with a dewormer. Unfortunately, I have a tank with shrimp and snails, so it's not that simple for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the best ways to utilize these and how to use them inside of a tank like this. Now, I won't be able to see any planaria in here, as I do have corydoras in here that kind of keep them at bay. So we are going to catch them with these, and you'll see how many there are when I'm done with this video. But I am doing a combination of videos at the same time, so the tank will be changing frequently throughout this video, so make sure you guys are prepared for that. I'll put links up here for the videos that come out. There'll be one that's going to be rescaping this entire tank. I'll put that link right here. And then we got another video that's coming out on all these little shrimp right here. So as you can tell, we got some really beautiful cherries, and then we have some not so beautiful cherries. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we are going to cull out those shrimp in a video that I'm going to link right here. But in the meantime, I do want to keep my shrimp population. That is why I use these. They help keep down from the planaria from killing off all the babies. The corydoras don't seem to eat a whole lot of the babies, as the population absolutely explodes with shrimp in here. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's start showing you the tips on planaria traps. All right, guys, so let's get to the point here. We got some planaria traps, and the best tip for these is to fill them with fish food, not random things like, you don't just want to put them in there by themselves, for example. Fish food works great, but I have learned throughout experience some frozen brine shrimp is the key to success with this. They will come out of the woodwork and eat some brine shrimp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into little chunks real quick, throw them inside of those planaria traps, put them in the tank, and then we'll kind of talk about them a little bit. So I'm going to get these cut up. And what you want to do is you just want to cut it up into chunks that'll fit inside of there. I use more than I probably need, but it's to mainly draw as many planaria as possible. That should work. And then I save the other little pieces for the next time I set up the traps. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little trap here. These are just made of glass, so make sure you're careful. But what they do is they have these little holes you can see here that other critters can't really get inside, but the little worms, they'll be able to get in there, and you'll be able to see that in a little while here. But anyways, you drop a couple of these little chunks in there. Now the trick to this is to try and get them in the cap like that. Oh, let me get you in focus here. There we go. Inside the cap is the best place to put it. And then when you put them in the tank, I'll kind of explain that when I get... Woo! Sorry about that. Kind of explain that when I get out there. But you just throw your little brine shrimps in there, tap them down to the cap, and there you go. Anyways, let's get out to the tanks. Alright, so we got our planaria traps here. I take the caps off for this reason. You want to put water in both ends without spraying too much brine shrimp. Obviously I have corydoras, so I'm not worried about that. But anyways, you want to point those little nubs like I showed you. You want to point them down towards the substrate, because that's where they're going to come from in this instance, just because of the corydoras in here. The free-floating brine shrimp is going to cause them to come out as well. But you just basically, you fill these up, and you want to place them kind of anywhere throughout the tank. Next to decor and stuff like that is usually where they hide. So I just put it right next to there. And I kind of do that all throughout the tank. I do have more of these, but I forgot to take the... That is why you have to put water in it. Air does not sink. Alright, so anyways, you point the bottoms down like I said, and then it's just a waiting game. You just kind of wait. And in the meantime, we're going to be doing some tank changes to this tank. So we got these placed in here, and you'll kind of see the planaria will start filling them. And I'll kind of show you as we go along here, hoping not to make too much of a mess of the tank as I'm doing these other videos throughout the same time frame. So, but anyways, you can see the cories are coming out to eat all the little stuff that didn't go inside of the bottles. But anyways, we'll show you here shortly once we start getting some planaria moving around, and I'll show you how quickly it works. All right, as you can see, the planaria trap's working. You didn't see any before, but now look how many there are in there. This one back here has a few in it as well. This one here, not so many. So this side of the tank must not have very many in there. So, but yeah, we're gonna start doing our other video here. I'm gonna pull out all the plants in here, so we'll come back to these in just a little bit. All right, so we got all the plants pulled, and now you can see the planaria is starting to come out of the woodwork. It's in this one, it's in this one, it's in that one, and it's probably all over the substrate too. But yeah, so next step here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the shrimp and snails and corydoras and leave the planaria traps in there, and then we'll end this video right then. All right, so we got a little carried away with ourselves, but let's come down in here. You can see the planaria worms inside of the trap there. So my DIY tip for it is let my camera go crazy, and then just pull this guy out of there, all three of them. And I'm gonna put them in this bucket that I'm about to go drain out, but put them in there, then you have less. Obviously there's still a ton in here, but yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us on this video here. I'll put a link up here so you guys can see that. But there's my tips for how to catch planaria in a shrimp and snail tank. There you go. Hope you guys have a good one. Take it easy.